The grind, baby. What's up, y'all? It's that one dude, Durag Rico, aka who gonna get thrown into some spikes today, aka I threw him off the top and didn't even hear the body flop. And we off up in here at the Games for Life podcast, a podcast where somebody like me who has been playing games for 30 plus years has played, learned, and applied things that they've been doing in video games. First things first, the topic at hand. Ed Boon said that he would love to see a Street Fighter character off up in Mortal Kombat. Shout out to him. He is one of the senseis in this industry, the creator, one of the co-creators of Mortal Kombat. That shows that he is not hating on Street Fighter, that he loves to encourage the fighting game as like an entire, like as a whole, instead of just being selfish and wanting his to be like the number one thing in fighting. I'm pretty sure he tries his best every time he comes with a Mortal Kombat. The things like Mortal Kombat has steadily been looking better and playing better over the years. The story, I don't know, it just keeps getting even more ridiculous. Shout out to the writers for improvising throughout the entirety of that lore and mythology. I seen the movie. It is Mortal Kombat. Is it groundbreaking? Is it gonna like win Oscars and Grammys and shit like that? No, but this is pure Mortal Kombat. I know on the last podcast episode, we were talking about how fans felt about the Resident Evil being loyal to the game and the lore whenever it came to what's presented on screen. Mortal Kombat is doing that. Mortal Kombat is getting ready to set us up with even more sequels and everything. And if it keeps on going like this, the sequels will come. Me personally, no disrespect to the sensei, I do not think that a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter can happen, because like as I sit up here and think about this, I'm noticing that it's not about the brands going against each other. It's about the mechanics. That's what we really like when it comes to these fighting games. What happens is, like prime example, we had Street Fighter cross Tekken. That was a deal between Capcom and Namco. It was supposed to be two games that came with that set. We got Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and from what I remember, I could not figure out for the life of me how to play with any of my favorite Tekken characters with the Street Fighter mechanics. We never did even get a Tekken Cross Street Fighter. That was part of the plan. They had promo materials. They were showing Ryu and Ken standing with like Tekken characters. The closest that we got to that was Tekken 7, when you had Akuma counted as a character in Tekken lore. Shooting blasts and stuff in a fight, off up in Tekken fights, weird. But yeah, that's the closest that we got. And that was what I seen. Oh, it's about the mechanics blending together. Cause like, if you think about the great crossovers back in the day when you had Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter, your Marvel versus Capcoms, that was pretty much all Capcom, because Capcom was behind X-Men Children of the Atom. Even Marvel superheroes, that was just Capcom, like pretty much keeping their mechanics locked in across different, my beard just got caught on my finger, keeping mechanics locked in across different characters. And since they had a consistent set of mechanics to work with, even though some characters are still like insanely OP, shout out to Sentinel, shout out to Storm. If you played against anybody that was like abusing Cable or like Iceman craziness, but yeah, like we still had a set of mechanics that kept it fun. It didn't change the characters as they crossed over with other games. If we had to do this with Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, it would be so much that would be changed between the characters and mechanics, because the mechanics don't mesh together. They do not mesh together like at all. The way how Mortal Kombat got characters teleporting behind you immediately, coming out of the back of the screen, the way how the projectiles work, the way how the jump physics work. If you land a kick in Mortal Kombat and people like hang in the air just a little bit, the physics in Mortal Kombat is completely different from like the Street Fighter, even these days. Street Fighter with all the like the EX hits and all of the new type of mechanics that they got blended into the new systems, it even gets more complex. Like, even if we go back to the classic games, it definitely ain't gonna match up when you had Mortal Kombat with the sprites, where you got people just like repeatedly punching or repeatedly kicking. It's not gonna work versus like Street Fighter 2. where everybody like throwing the jabs or throwing like the low kicks and stuff like that. It's not gonna work. I don't know, like maybe if they found a cohesive, it just ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. We ain't gonna get a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. The mechanics are just not gonna fit together. They're just not gonna match up. The closest that we're going to get to a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter is these movies going against each other this year in 2026. We got Mortal Kombat. It was pure Mortal Kombat. We talked about lore, characters, fatalities, cameos by the creators. Beautiful. I give that movie a solid 7 out of 10. Like solid. Like I would love to see more. Will they ever like make it into something like groundbreaking? I don't know, because it looked like they go on the expectation route. They feeding the expectations. It's leaning toward expectations and adaptions than the creativity side. Creativity is where you get the spontaneous results and shit like that. Like, cause like everything looks good off up in there. Like Raiden with the lightning eyes, it looks good. Scorpion with the powers, it looks good. Liu Kang with the like spitting out the like fireballs, it looks good. Kung Lao hat spinning around, it all looks good. But it's all expected. Shao Kahn yelling out, finish him and stuff like it's all expected. But yeah, that's gonna be the closest thing we're gonna get to the verses, man. What y'all think gonna be better, Street Fighter or this Mortal Kombat? Cause I like the way how Street Fighter look too. It's got that goofy look to it. It's got that funny look to it. Like what you gotta look is the people that's the creators behind that is the people that's behind Twisted Metal, and Twisted Metal is a pretty funny show. So yeah, shout out, hey gamers, we up. That's all I can say, gamers, we up. Speaking of gamers, man, shout out to everybody who commented on the last episode of the podcast. Even when we disagree on things, we all fans. We all would love for these IPs to be respected throughout these adaptions. It's gonna be up to the creators that win that role, and we're gonna see what happens. A lot of people saying that the Resident Evil movie shouldn't be named Resident Evil, but it could still be a good movie. I'll take it. I'll take that. But yeah, I don't have issues with disagreements. Like shout out to my homies and shout out to my family. They got me prepared for stuff like that. I don't know what's up with the internet, but people act like when you have disagreements, it got to be automatic cutthroat beef. Like it got to be automatic fuck you beef if y'all disagree on something. It's cool to disagree. It's okay. Y'all don't have to tear each other apart. You can still be associated with people even if y'all disagree. It just depends on what it is. If we talking about video games and all that stuff and people getting all vigilant and going to war in the comments over like this art, something that's subjective, you gotta relax. We all just speculating. We just speculating on what somebody wants to do with their box of crayons when it comes to whatever they choose to draw, whatever project they decide to make. That's all we really doing. That's why I'm talking about like taking bets. Like if this is a dire situation, somebody bleeding on the floor, it's not going to be no time for no petty arguments. That's a whole different case. But we sitting up here talking about this movie that's going to come out and these other things that are going to come out. And hey, let's just see what's going to happen. Like the funny thing is, I got a feeling that if certain things come out and people are wrong, you'll never hear from them ever again. It's funny how the internet is like that. People will be on your neck. But I don't know, man. I be having hopes. Like, I don't know if anybody who had like a disagreement with me, like subscribe. Shout out to y'all for watching. But hey, man, we all in this together. When this comes out, the impact, I'm pretty sure we're going to feel it. I'm pretty sure we all got this stuff in our algorithms. If you found this video and if you like, I don't know, searching stuff up that got to do with Resident Evil movies or Street Fighter movies and Mortal Kombat movies. Yeah, like we're going to see what's going to happen, man. I suspect fire still. I'm unconvinced. None of the comments convinced me. I still stand my ground. Speaking of standing my ground, the reason why this episode came out a little bit later than usual is because of Shao Kahn on Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. He was beating my ass for like 2 days straight. I had to learn. This is like, I guess, a life lesson when it comes to video games. I've been doing this for a long time, whether it's people watching me, clowning me, but I have been through exhibitions, which especially like final bosses, I have gone through hours and hours of losses only to still somehow overcome and beat these bosses. It's so funny when you walk into a boss fight for the first time. Like for instance, at the end of Shaolin Monks, I don't know if this is spoilers or not. The game is like over 10 years old now. But when you fight Shao Kahn, the final boss in Shaolin Monks, it's a 3-part fight. You don't get the heal between any of those fights. You fight 3 different bosses, and you fight like Shao Kahn in like 2 parts. You smoke Shang Tsung, snap his neck. You fight Kentaro, rip his head off and leave it in the middle of the fighting field. And like the first time I went against Shao Kahn, I was like, okay, I got him. I got him down halfway. He gets a weapon in the middle of the fight and he does this spin move. That shit was so insane when I first seen it. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to go against this? After hours of finding out different ways to fight, I found me a strategy that worked. I ended up using the dodge and evade moves. I had to use it just right to keep that stamina up. And hey, I eventually got him. And I want to say they call that resilience. When you can like endure and learn and still make progress. Resilience. That's what I had to use during that fight. That's what I've been using my whole life. I remember like fighting bosses in certain games, or like fighting like, say like if I got to the end of like Tekken and you had to fight, whenever you fight like True Ogre or something like that, I had to sit up there and get my ass beat in front of like, say like a cousin. They all laughing at me. You're never gonna beat him. You're never gonna beat him. Yeah, even when they get up and leave because they tired of me, but I'm not tired. I'm still pressing start whenever that countdown starts on the screen. And somehow, some way, I'm still gonna get it. I'm gonna learn this technique. I'm gonna learn this combo. I'm gonna learn whatever I gotta do to proceed through this. As a kid, you learn like much different. I guess it got something to do with cortexes, regions of the brain, processes of thought, or something like that. Like now, I'm more purposeful with my thoughts. I'm like, what do I have to do? As a kid, I was like, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. Now it's more like I'm more precise with these things that I could learn to do. I'm looking into the game deeply, like what did they put into this game that I could use in order to overcome this obstacle in front of me? Whenever I do that, eventually I find out, oh, this mechanic is meant for me to dodge this shit damn near flawlessly. And that's what happened, man. That clip is somewhere on like Instagram or TikTok. Shout out to everybody for tuning in for all of that, because evidently I wasn't the only one that was being fucked up by Shao Kahn. The time of this recording is around Mother's Day, so when I decided to take to the subreddits, I decided to flip the script and I asked the digital streets, what are some treacherous mothers that you've seen in gaming? Me, I decided to start off with Annabelle Rosfield. This is Clive and Joshua Rosfield's mother on Final Fantasy 16. She is so treacherous to me because she decided to set her husband up to get slayed, send her sons off into exile, and then go get married to another king, have another son, and then when that son didn't live up to her expectations or follow her treacherous orders, she tried to delete him also. Shout out to Annabelle Rosfield. If you want to be a treacherous mother, she got a nice blueprint for y'all out there. I don't even think women are watching this podcast. Let's get to some of the top comments. Let's go. We got Lopsided Assistance 90. He said, Plymouth from Dragon Age. She planned to possess her daughter Morgan in order to get the youth from her body. Y'all watch out for that envy out there. Ladies, y'all watch out for that envy. It's a lot of people that's going to try and approach y'all, that's going to try and befriend, get into y'all's vicinity in order to take advantage. This right here is supernatural. She trying to literally sap the youth away from her daughter, but Jesus Christ, it's going to be a lot of those things that can be translated to people trying to be in y'all vicinity, trying to abuse that vulnerability, trying to put you down and step on you so they can stand out. Up next, we got Roboman 20,000. He's talking about Agraboda's grandmother from God of War Ragnarok, the one who had the monstrous voice, and she was running around with the giant body chasing after her in Atreus. I thought she was a monster that was about to get slayed. Whenever Agraboda said that that's her grandma, I was like, whoa, How did this sweet girl come from such a monster of a grandmother? I don't know if it was a joke or if she's really a reference to something from Norse mythology, but her name is Grilla. Gryla. And then a special shout out to Trick Natural for shouting out Mother Brain from the Metroid series. I know it was a joke, but I understand exactly what you're talking about. Treacherous as hell. Your name is Mother Brain, but you decided to be a doomsday intensity. Insanity. But shout out to that shout out. But yeah, man, we just out here, man. Like, I'm taking inspiration from multiple places. I want to say the next big movie that's gonna come out is Mando and Grogu. It's gonna be like based on the Mandalorian series, except they taking it to the theater. I got an idea for that. I got some inspiration coming for that. Then right after that, we got James Bond, a 007 game coming out in I don't know how long, made by different developers, IO Interactive, the same ones made by Hitman. If I get my Star Wars inspired project finished, I'm also gonna have something lined up for that. And yeah, man, I say while you gaming, one of the best things that could make your gaming better is finding inspiration in other places. One thing that I was seeing with Pragmata was people being touched by being a father in a game or caring for a younger individual, like a kid. Like I seen some dude crying because he lost his daughter and that the little girl in Pragmata reminded him of his daughter. Stuff like that touches me. And like, as somebody who has been an older sibling, a parent, and like someone who has taken care of younger kids, whenever I see games that embrace parenthood, it's a beautiful thing. I get inspired by the movies. I get inspired by music. It's so many things that you could take inspiration from when you're playing these games that you want to play, or something that makes you want to play different games. Like whenever I think of Clint Eastwood movies, it makes me think of the Red Dead series. Whenever I think of those like Seven Samurai, I think of the Ghost of Tsushimas and the Onimushas. Like I'm so inspired. Like I immerse myself in these zones. Like I'm about to go watch this Devil May Cry season 2. That series just dropped. I'm about to go check that out. It may inspire some other stuff with me. That's Capcom coming out with even more stuff. That might inspire something else. I'll have to see how the process goes as I'm watching it. Inspiration is one of our superpowers as human beings. I don't think animals and plants get particularly inspired by anything, but inspiration can be one of those things that propels you whenever you decide to do anything, whether it's repetitive tasks at a job, whether it's having conversations with people, whether it's you're sitting on a microphone talking to yourself and looking at a camera lens. And then we got to watch out for the dark side, because while people are getting inspired to do positive things, the dark side of it is that people are also being inspired to do negative things. You can go and look at many history books to see examples of that. I'm gonna end this on an authentic note. I seen something that disturbed me when I was looking up comments. I was about to reply to a comment, and then the AI suggested a comment for me. I was like, this is bad, because I guess some people just want a fast and efficient way to respond to people, but it's so disingenuous when people think that they're talking to an individual, but really it's just AI answering for them. It's a certain section of people that don't care. Matter of fact, they love the fact that they have assistance whenever it comes to responding, because me personally, I really do genuinely interact with the people that decide to interact with me at this point. It's kind of scary that sometimes whenever, say if like you post something somewhere, and if you get off of work, you can see way too many responses to something that you posted. I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of this stuff. Whenever I try to respond, I try to do it as genuinely as possible. If I don't get respond, I guess this is for the future. If I don't respond to certain comments and stuff, it's gonna have to be like a first come first serve thing, because I can't keep answering or responding to comments forever on projects. I gotta keep on moving and I gotta keep on grooving. That's what I say, charge to the grind. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Another classic episode of the podcast. More XP, as I say, man. I hope some of y'all leveled up when it comes to listening. I hope listening to this helped y'all level up in some aspect in life. I hope you got some attributes that you could use someday. And I'm going to catch y'all later. the Games for Life podcast. Till next time, y'all stay geeked.